Governors, members from the National Assembly and Diplomatic Corps, ministers as well as heads of parastatals were all gathered in this hall just before the arrival of the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The Minister of Finance first made it clear that the government is changing status quo on the current tax regime, which currently stands at 6%, one of the lowest in the world.
The size of government budget, both state and local, is not big enough to serve the needs of this nation. It isn't because there isn't enough money. It is because there isn't enough money coming in to government. And that is what we are here today to correct.
The need to hold the government more accountable is drummed up by the acting president as he signs an executive order backing the implementation of the Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme, an initiative to checkmate tax evasion.
The scheme will operate from July the 1st, 2017 until the 31st of March 2018. It will be supported by an executive order. VATES will offer a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to those in default to regularize their tax affairs. In exchange for full and honest declaration, taxpayers will receive immunity from prosecution, forgiveness of penalty and interest that is due on unpaid taxes, and the full assurance that all information provided will remain confidential.
The level of non-compliance of tax payment across the country suggests a problem demanding a crucial solution, hence the declaration.
Every Thursday, starting from today and for the next 1 year, will be declared Tax Thursday. We expect the FIRS and every state government will organize sensitization events that will raise awareness of the tax system and result in massive enrollment of new taxpayers.
It was also disclosed that only 214 Nigerians pay tax of 20 million naira or more each year. State governors promises a scale-up of that figure.
We need to rethink how we're going to get money to take responsibility of Nigerians, and Nigerians also have this government. So therefore, from the side of we governors, we are ready to give all the support needed for this program to succeed.
Nigeria has joined a global movement called the Automatic Convention, which comes into effect in 2018 to tackle illicit financial flows. 14 million, that's the total number of Nigerians currently paying tax. Well, the small figure is the reason behind the recreation of the tax-paying culture by the government to essentially secure more development for Nigeria. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Let's get back to Honorable Okorie. Could you then tell us, what is the amnesty component in this bill that you're proposing?
The amnesty component is the immunity from prosecution, immunity from further payment, and immunity from using the information unduly against you. That's exactly what had come out from the words, from the mouth of the acting president. The only difference, which I must concede, is that the presidency, and in my opinion, because I submitted this bill exactly 2 weeks before the executive order came, I'm of the opinion that this executive took my bill, or ideas of my bill, took out what could be politically contentious, because my bill was much clearer to the fact that definition of assets and all sources of income, whether internally or externally, and they restricted it using the word tax all through. So despite that, it is the immunity, that is the amnesty. We're saying that once you have met the provisions and requirements of this law, if it becomes law, that you are precluded from further inquiry on that, in those incomes, and further punishment. Let me point out, in order to ensure that we have oversight and control mechanisms. This declaration is to be done to the Inland Revenue Authority, while the CBN is to provide the guidelines and do a reporting process. And the report will go to National Assembly every quarter on not just how much have been declared, how much tax and surcharge have been gotten, but exactly to what parts of the economy these monies have been invested in and oversighted. Let me further just put this in view. Why the executive order provided that you just go and pay your tax under the normal process, which involves declaring your income, taking your reliefs or allowances, and then paying based on what is the net income or accessible profit. At given rate, for companies, it is 30% of accessible profit. For persons, individuals, it is a maximum of 25% for incomes 120,000 naira and above. Our bill proposes that you shouldn't just pay the tax. One, any declaration of money or asset, any amount you declare, no further release will apply to you, and no allowances can be taken out of it. And you pay 30% if you're a company, a normal company, and for individuals, 30% also, an additional 7.5%. So in effect, even individuals are paying a lot more money, and companies are paying a lot more money than they would have paid, they are going to pay under the executive order, which we are now implementing. And my question really is, I am not concerned that this bill must pass, especially the way I drafted it. But I'm concerned that we must get to the discussion. What do? We have well over $360 billion if you check the last 30 years. Because Oxfam has told us that 12% of our GDP is being lost to IFF, illicit financial flows, which is all of the tax evasion and all its related paradigms, every year. If you take Nigerian GDP, currently it is 413.7, that estimate.